Hey, this is Pamela Schneider. I'm the retail editor for Blue Book Services, and this is the Produce Reporter Week in Review. We're coming to you this afternoon because we wanted to get the recap from today's educational sessions at the Southeast Produce Council's Southern Exposure in Orlando. So, Greg, it's nice to be in person, isn't it?
It's great to be in person, and I'm not alone in that because the education session, when I first walked in, I was like, this room is enormous. How the heck are they going to fill it? And then I showed up a tad bit late to it and barely got a seat. So there are a lot of people here, and there are a lot of people here who say that they haven't been out much and they're really happy to be out. And the big session, of course, today was Power of Produce with our friend Anne-Marie in FMI's proprietary data. And we got a release on it too. So we ran some of that stuff online already. Inflation is a huge deal, and it's becoming a problem. And the fact that 2020 is being so much different than 21 and they expect for 22, I think what's really going to shape the trends in 22 will be opening back up and doing more entertaining, and it gives some options for fresh cut and on the go. People are getting back to normal, so they're moving around a lot more and they need convenient food. And that's a place where the fresh produce industry needs to focus and shine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, and I'm going to go with the theme here, 2022, everyone's ready to go. And then inflation's like Thanos. And going to snap half of that growth out of there. Of course, you're not much of a Marvel guy.
Yeah, I do childish things, but that's not one of them. But,
well, I've been a boy mom for 13 years.
No, I like the Marvel theme behind you. It's very impressive. I'm sure I'll see a lot more of that here.
I'm sure you will see a whole lot more of that this week or this weekend. Tomorrow is, of course, Saturday. We've got the expo coming up. I expect a packed floor. I bet you not a single person is skipping this year. People are extremely enthusiastic, and just from even my social media, everyone I know is there. So consider yourself lucky. I've been traveling all over, so I let you have this trip. So that'll be a lot of fun.
A lot of people are asking me about you, so you'll have to get out and about again soon.
Well, I've got a few things closer to home, especially I went and did, we had a news release about Target spending $5 billion doing some, revamps of stores and things like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, we got one of those revamped stores. And I mean, Target, I remember back in the day when I was so enthusiastic about them adding produce to their stores. They had a huge initiative called P Fresh. And lately though, the produce department in Target has been a downer. So I'm like, okay, let me refresh my memory. And I went by, and boy, it just, would you pay $1.89 for a pretty small Honeycrisp apple? I mean, that's what you can find at Target. It's a baffling mix. The dry tables are about a third citrus. It's like they're filling space. And I feel like produce is not a priority. You know what is a priority at Target is the home goods and all the stuff that you go in and you're mesmerized by it, and you go home with like tchotchkes to decorate your house with. And produce is not necessarily the number one. So I'm hoping that they maybe spend some of that $5 billion like improving their produce operations. I don't know, maybe.
Well, Robbie Cruz was on the Power of Produce panel, and he didn't directly address your column, but I bet he's seen it.
Yeah, good thing I wouldn't have a target on me while I'm sitting in the audience there but I pick at the biggest retailers because we've talked about this before. They have the potential for the biggest impact. How many Target stores are there in the country? Just imagine if all of them did very well in produce. I mean, it would be fantastic. Another store though, that's coming to my market that I just saw this news release a few minutes ago, I could not believe it, is Kroger has not entered the Austin or San Antonio markets. I don't for a while if they have been here, at least not in my almost 20 years of living here. And they are doing the similar thing to what they did in Florida, where they're going to do delivery only from customer fulfillment centers that they're building out in Austin here and then San Antonio. And they're supposed to have them open by the end of the year. So that is huge news in a very competitive grocery market. So I'll be watching that.
Yeah, that's really soon. Are you surprised at how quickly they're planning on unleashing that?
Yeah, I am pretty surprised because when we talked about them hooking up with Ocado, which is the United Kingdom based firm that does the robot grocery warehouses that pick everything, and they were huge 100,000 square foot facilities. They announced one and it's like a year and a half away, 2 years away. And then just this week, we've got Cleveland is another market they're going into, San Antonio, Austin, Birmingham. So it appears that they've figured out the nuts and bolts, and now it's like, all right, let's go. And I would consider Austin to be a well-established grocery market, but perhaps not as well established in online grocery, like delivery, for example. I mean, we've had a lot of delivery services come and go, but I wouldn't consider our market leader, HEB, to be a really huge force in grocery delivery. So it's an area that I think there's some room for competitors in. And so, physical stores, I don't think Kroger would want to come in here and go head to head with HEB and Walmart. But sneaking in here, just like they did in Florida to do grocery delivery, I think that's really smart. Oh, you got hecklers, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for the Produce Reporter Week interview. I'm going to, be my Star-Lord here. I should have sent this with you. You could have been Star-Lord. Enjoy your time in Marvelville at the Southeast Produce Council's Southern Exposure.